Hello, video 2 is going to be trying to show you how to draw a free body diagram or a force diagram like you were instructed to do last week. Not sure I'm smart enough to hold the iPad and draw, but we're going to try. So the very first thing you do is draw a box. Regardless of the type of object you have, just draw a box. I appreciate the effort some of you made trying to draw the actual objects, but you're not supposed to do it that way. So in 9th grade science especially, you'll just draw a box that represents your object. The very first force we're going to always put in is the force of gravity. And my F represents force, and then I'm just going to abbreviate the word gravity. I don't care if the object's moving or not. If it's on Earth, gravity is affecting it. You draw in gravity. So if my example is a book on a table that's just sitting there, I can't just leave it as the force of gravity because that book's not falling. There has to be an opposite force and equal force that is keeping that book in a stationary and unmoving position. And we would call that the normal force. And you only have the normal force when you have a solid object on top of another solid object. For example, this box, this container, is on top of my kitchen table and it's not moving. So gravity is pulling it towards the center of the earth, but the box isn't moving. So that means that the table is exerting a normal force on my box. That's it. So let's say we want to diagram that Hot Wheels car as it was racing down the track. Again, I draw my box. I draw the force of gravity. That car is on the track. It's not going through the track, so I also need to put the normal force involved. The car is moving to the right. That means to the left, I'm going to have the force of air resistance and the force of friction. I'm just going to combine those two together and represent it as air resistance. And nothing else. I didn't push that car down the ramp. It came on its own because of the pull of gravity. So I would just have those three forces involved and nothing else. If an object is falling through the air, for example, one of your problems from last week was the squirrel. Again, the force of gravity, regardless of whether the animal is falling or the egg is falling or whatever is falling in a straight line or not, the force of gravity is always drawn straight down. And opposite of because the animal is moving down, that means up is the force of air resistance. Air resistance is a special form of friction, and friction is always the opposite direction of the motion of your object. And that is how you do free body diagrams.